I'm Richard Bainbridge, and this is the Great British Chef's signature series. Everybody has a reason why they do what they do, and mine is my family. When I remember growing up and seeing my nanny cook, it was the warmth of her hospitality that really inspired me and that I wanted to bring to my own restaurant one day. For me now, I live in the countryside, so my children are surrounded by that wildlife, that greenness, that freshness. If they can be inspired by that, they're only going to want to eat the good stuff. And I think that's so important now as a generation. It's our job to inspire them to cook great food. This dish is about bringing an English country garden to life. Even if it's a cold, rainy day outside and you start making this dish, it just makes it feel like spring, like summer, like the sun is shining. You can turn a dull day into something really special. I'm Richard Bainbridge. I'm in my kitchen in Benedict's restaurant, and we today are going to be cooking a radish tart which is inspired by my daughter. During the first lockdown, she started to grow radishes in her back garden, and she loved doing it and loved watching them grow. And watching her kind of in the garden, messing around, seeing all the soil and all of that really inspired me to make this tart. To me, it just sings summer, it sings an English country garden for me, and it's a real showstopper for any dinner party. So, first of all, what you want to do is get on to your pâte brique base. Getting little sheets of pâte brique, which is like a French crepe almost, that we get. And so what you'll do is you use 2 layers of these. Take the first base, just take some egg yolk or egg wash. So what we're going to do is just going to brush it with egg wash. Some people will let down their egg yolk or their egg wash with milk or water. I just like using pure egg yolk. So if you couldn't get hold of pâte brique pastry and you still wanted this beautiful little English country garden in a mouthful, just use a nice savoury pastry. But this makes it really something special. And also it really impresses people because it's so thin and they don't need to know that you've just put 2 pieces of pâte brique together. So just peel it off, lay them on there like that. And we're just going to smooth that over like that. And then what we're going to do is I've got these little pastry cases that are just in the shape of a boat or an eye. A great little thing to have in the cupboard to bring back time and time again. You can make savoury boats, you can make sweet boats out of them. It's a great addition to your catering cupboard. So pop it down on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to just cut around it, but go nice and large so it can sink inside to that case. Take it off, but then all you do, place it on top, push it into the mould, using another mould on top. So really push it in all the way around. Then using a sharp knife, just start to cut away that excess. So break it away either with your thumb, just like so. And then we're going to pop that onto a tray. But then what we will do as well is we'll just put another tray on top. So when it does start to cook, and the egg and the kind of air, the hot air in there, that'll try to move it up, but that weight will just hold it down to make it nice and thin and crisp. So what we're going to do is now how we're going to cook these, preset your oven to 160 degrees and we're going to pop it in for 10 minutes until they're nice and golden all the way around. So the tart cases have just been in the oven now for about 12 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. So what we're going to do is just gently take that off. And you now start to see they're gone nice and golden all the way around. It's now nice and thin. We're just going to peel them off like so. And then you're left with this beautiful thin tart case, which is nice and crispy. So we'll let them cool down like that. Meanwhile, we're going to get on to our cream cheese base. And so all we're going to use is some beautiful cream cheese. Now more and more, the local farm shops, your local delicatessens will have a real good local cream cheese. Get that rich indulgence. Then we've got some roasted garlic. So all I did with this, preheat the oven at 160 degrees, whack your garlic in a little tinfoil boat, a little bit of olive oil or rapeseed or Norfolk rapeseed, drizzle that over, tiny bit of salt and pepper in the oven for about 35 minutes, and you'll kind of get this beautiful roasted confit garlic. And then we've got a beautiful selection of herbs. So we've got some beautiful chervil here, we've got some flat leaf parsley, we've got some beautiful garden mint. Again, lots of different variations of mint, but I just like a simple garden mint. We've got some lovely chives, and then the sweetness of fresh thyme is a great addition to anything. When it comes to these sort of dishes, it's all about your own interpretations. So if you don't like mint, don't put mint in it. If your garden smells of dill, put dill in it. You know, this is about bringing your garden to life. So use the flavours and the herbs that you enjoy. So we're going to put the cream cheese into the bowl. So we're just going to take out, and it's just got that great colour on it. So So we're just going to take some here, and you'll kind of see, you'll just be able to squash it. The recipes I'm giving you are all your own self-interpretation. You know, food is so personal and it takes you on a personal journey. So if you like loads of garlic, put loads of garlic in. If you don't like too much garlic, only put a tiny smidge in. So like I said, I'm going to probably put about a teaspoon in of that pressed garlic. And then just kind of twist in some pepper. Now, if watching these videos, if you don't remember anything else, is use white peppercorns when you're using it to grind, because the flavour from white peppercorns are fragrant. You get a warmth from it, but not a heat, whereas black pepper is really aggressive and really fiery and almost burns your mouth. So this is one thing that you don't get anything else from this. Use white pepper, try it at home. We've got this beautiful organic cream cheese in here. We're just gonna use the back of the spoon just to start to marry these two together. Now, more than ever, you need to get back onto the high street. You know, you need to support these local vendors, whether they're a greengrocer, whether they're a butcher's shop, whether it's a farm shop, a deli. The produce they have is actually unbelievable, and the stories they have behind where they come from is unbelievable, and that's what will inspire you to go home and cook. Being inspired is the most important thing about going into a kitchen and cooking dinner. If you go in there mundanely going, I need to find something to cook for dinner, it'll be a lot of rubbish. But when I'm excited and it's the weekend and I've got time and the music's going and everything's going, and I know where the veggies come from and the meats come from, it's a blinder. And you'll see I haven't necessarily done these too fine because it doesn't need to be fine. You want them to be slightly larger and smaller because, again, it creates a mouthfeel. 1 minute you'll get some parsley and it'll give a real big boost. Then you get some mint come through. So you want that kind of orchestra kind of happening in your mouth. That's exactly it. You've got that roasted garlic flavour coming through. You've got those beautiful garden herbs coming through. All the different herbs are now in my mouth. Moving around, brilliant. Just going to add just a couple of drops of lemon juice, just to add a little bit of acidity in there. But we don't go too heavy because you're going to be putting that radish jelly on top. So that's all ready to go. We're just going to pop that on the side. We're then going to make our fine, kind of like a radish tartar that's going to just sit on top of the cream cheese. So all I've done is just take some of the radishes, give them a good wash, and then I've just popped them into a food processor or like a coffee grinder at home, pulsed it a few times just to break them up. So take a few of those. With this, beautiful colours, different shapes and sizes. You'll see parts of the radish top is in there as well, because again, I'm a true believer when it comes to vegetables or meat or fish or anything, is that we need to use every part of it. Nothing should go in the bin. My daughter's grown these radishes. I need to use every part of that radish. I'm going to season with a tiny bit of sea salt again. White pepper goes in there. And then what I've made here is I've just made a herb oil using the radish top leaves. So not too much, just enough goes in there. Give that a real nice little mix around. Now we're going to start to get round to start to dress the whole dish itself. So again, super simple preparation. So you've got your cream cheese, your radish tartar, we've got some beautiful flowers from the garden, and then we've got some really nice thin sliced radishes to go on top. We're just going to pipe this on the bottom. For me, I need to be able to tell a story through my food because I'm in a kitchen and I can't be in the restaurant upstairs, but I want to be able to communicate with people. So to be able to try and tell them a story about my daughter and her radishes growing in my garden and how that inspired me to create this dish, it gets them to know a little bit about me and my life and my personality whilst eating my food. There's no purer form of communication, I don't think, than giving somebody a great plate of food. So that goes on the bottom. We've then got a radish tartar. Going to pop that on top. Again, nice even layer. Then we're going to just start to layer our radishes over. Then we've just got a tiny bit of Norfolk rapeseed again. Just drizzle over the top. Small amount of salt. A little twist of the white pepper again. We've infused some crushed up radishes with some rice vinegar, a little bit of cider vinegar. Combined them together, brought it up to the boil, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt in there, and then we've just set it with agar to get this beautiful pink jelly that goes on there. So for me, this brings the whole thing together. This is that kind of sharpness that we want to finish. What we're going to do is we're just going to use our tart cutter, Slice around. Take that off. And again, this jelly can be made a day in advance, so you don't need to worry about it and stress about it later on. And I think the vibrant colour is just fantastic. Then we've got our beautiful herbs here. So this one, we've just got some beautiful bronze fennel, got some lovely viola flowers, and then we've just got a little bit of chervil again, just to finish. So this is my radish and cream cheese tart inspired by my daughter Holly.